We are live. What is up, everybody? This is the Royal Rumble 2020 review. I'm your host, Hunter Chambless, and we got Mr. Edgehead over here, Matthew Rosa. How's it going?
It's a good time to be alive. We'll get to that, but it's a good time to be alive.
Yes, we will. So how this is going to work is we're going to break down pretty much every single match that happened at the Royal Rumble event from last night, minus the pre-show matches because I didn't watch it. Matt, if you want to break down some of the highlights from the kickoff show, you can go right ahead and do that.
Sheamus fought Shorty G, and it was good. And then Humberto Carrillo wrestled Andrade, and it was good. They were fine. They were fine matches. Exactly what you thought was going to happen happened. Andrade won, and Sheamus won. Shorty G had a really cool little offensive flurry in the last minute. That was pretty interesting, and that was it. 2 hours of your life wasted. Moving on.
That's usually why I don't watch the pre-shows. All right, guys. So the official card kicks off with the Falls Count Anywhere match. Roman Reigns taking on King Corbin. From what I've seen of this storyline, it looks dumb, but this match was actually really good.
Yeah, I dug this match a lot more than I thought I was going to.
You dug it? You dug it?
It was honestly, it felt like an Attitude Era style match. It felt like how the Attitude Era Falls Count Anywhere matches used to be, where it's just like Austin would just punch Mick Foley, and then he'd wander a bit, and then they'd punch him back, and then they'd wander a bit, and then, oh shit, a stunner. And then 1, 2, oh, he kicked out. Oh, let's wander over to this section. Like, it totally felt like the old school Attitude Era Falls Count Anywhere match, which is fine. Because when you have two guys like Reigns and Corbin, who I don't ever want to see wrestle a normal match, it was a lot of fun. And they didn't do the poop spot, so thank God for that.
Yeah,
that was good because man, that would have been so stupid. Because Corbin's the best heel you have, and if you just cover him in poop, it'd be a waste. I know we're gonna differ. We differ on opinion of Corbin. I think Corbin's incredible, but that's on me.
To be honest, I've never liked Corbin ever since his debut in NXT. I thought, oh, great, it's another football jerk, heel jock that's just gonna run roughshod for the next few years.
I think Corbin has gotten too fun, man. He's too fun. He's having too much fun with it. His promos are too fun. For me, he's a pretty enjoyable part of the roster now. After his crap with Lacey Evans, when he won King of the Ring and he really started milking that, it became a lot more fun for me. Him beating Angle turned out to be pretty good because it turned him into such a nuclear heel. People will never forgive him. People will never get past that Angle is gone and that he didn't fight Cena. He fought Baron Corbin and he lost clean. It's just one of those things.
2021. 2021, Edge vs. Corbin retirement match.
Oh my gosh! Don't even. And it'd be 2023. All right, he signed a 3-year deal.
But yeah, this match is actually really good. It felt like more of a fight than a match, which is the thing that both of these competitors do so well. Is they can make it feel like a fight, like more of not a clinic, not a wrestling match, but a fight. That's exactly what this match needed to be. It needed to be something that feels rough around the edges, and that's okay. There was a lot of cool little spots, like the dugout ending. I really loved them actually using more of the arena to their advantage, kind of like what Shane and Miz did at Mania this past year. How they kind of went around the arena and used it to their advantage. I like the fact that Reigns hit a spear on a dugout and pinned him, and then the camera zoomed up to show the crowd.
Yeah, that was cool.
That
The
camera pan was
angles were
really
nice.
cool. I like the Rude, Ziggler, and Usos coming out.
Yeah, that worked.
Yeah.
Like the whole match just worked. It felt like a little bit of an event kind of match where it was just like, this is clearly we're done with this feud. We're moving on. This is going to be a huge blow off. I think they have to be. I don't think you can do anything after that because it was such a. I mean, honestly, it was a good match. Baron Corbin and Roman Reigns had like, I'd call it like a 3.5 star, 4-star match. It was solid. It was really fun and it was really well structured. I think you have to move on after that. Let Roman be Roman because the dude can work. Let him work with somebody at Mania. Don't waste him again this year. Because when I was at Mania last year, and people like Roman now. Like we appreciate Roman as who the wrestler he is. But when the Roman Reigns Drew McIntyre match started, there was a long line for some gourmet chicken wings.
Yeah, that's the thing that I will give Vince and the writing team credit. It would have been so easy for them to exploit the coming back from cancer. Let's give him a world title shot. They could have milked that like a lot, but they didn't. They had him come out. They had him explain, okay, this is what happened. I'm clear. It's got a huge pop. And then the next week he was back working. He was wrestling. And they didn't start pushing Reigns down people's throats anymore. They put him in little mini feuds that work with what he can do in the ring. And we slowly start getting support for him. That's how you have to make someone work.
Honestly, I wouldn't have even been opposed to him winning this Rumble. Like, I wouldn't have hated it. Like, I when it came down to who it came down to, I wanted the other two men in the ring to win more than Roman. But if Roman had won, it wouldn't have been like when he won the first Rumble and it was just boo. It was like, okay, this is fun. I'd be like, that's
your camera's freezing up a little bit.
Oh, okay. I can move to another room.
So yeah, Reigns wins after a 21-minute match. He pins Baron Corbin on the dugout, which was a really cool little shot. So now we move on. Next match is the 30 women Royal Rumble match. And this is where my first problem is going to be. It's not the match itself. It's the winner. Which we'll get to in a minute. Let me see if I can actually bring up all the entries. All right. So number 1 was Alexa Bliss, and number 2 was Bianca Belair from NXT. So you had those two start out in the ring, and Bianca really, really impressed me. Now, backstage knowledge here. Not a huge fan of Bianca Belair. I definitely see that she has potential, and this Rumble is slowly starting to make me a fan of her.
Ooh, you don't like Bianca Belair?
When she debuted and, as she was going, not really. I wasn't a fan of her. I didn't see why everybody was so high on her. But after this Rumble, I definitely can see why people are impressed with her. I mean, I've always been impressed with her strength and her speed and things like that. Like, in ring, she's really good. I just thought she was a little too green for people to be like, this is your next star.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. But I think, her Rumble performance was incredible. I think she was so good.
She lasted 33 minutes in this Rumble match.
And broke the record for eliminations in a women's Rumble match.
Is it broken? I thought Shayna beat it.
They tied.
Oh, did they tie?
Yeah, they both got 8.
Yep. So, yeah, the Rumble kicks off with Alexa Bliss, who I guess is a face now?
Yeah, she's been face for a little while.
Okay, like I said, the last time I watched a WWE property was after Survivor Series, and that's it. I haven't watched the Raw or SmackDown since early November. So
Yeah, her and Nikki Cross are like the big face team in the women's division, the tag team division.
Number 3 was a surprise, and I love seeing this one. Mighty Molly.
What a weird choice.
I loved it. Dude,
No.
I half expected the Hurricane to be in the men's Rumble.
See, there was my issue. If you're gonna do Mighty Molly, why didn't you do the Hurricane? Like, he's literally backstage. He's right there. Just give him some gear. Give him 2 minutes. Like, let him come out and put his hand on Lesnar's throat, and then just have Lesnar.
No, dude, the perfect shot for him to, which we're getting the men's Rumble, but it's fine right now. Have the Hurricane come out when it's Keith Lee, Braun Strowman, and Brock Lesnar, and just be like, nope.
No, just have him try to chokeslam him. He just put his hands around their necks.
But again, great to see Molly Holly back. Super underrated for her time. If you really think about it, like, Molly Holly doesn't get talked enough. She was so great. She's still so great.
Yeah, she looks like she's got the R-Truth serum because she does not age. She looks the same as she did when she retired. I don't know why she retired. I mean, she looks like she can still go.
That cross body was beautiful.
Yeah,
Bianca and Alexa.
She completely looks like she can still go. I'm not entirely sure why she's gone. Because I mean, if she can go like that, work a part-time schedule, dude. It would be nice to have you around every couple pay-per-views.
Yeah. Number 4 was Nikki Cross. Number 5 was Lana. Lana.
She got in the Rumble this year, at least.
That's true.
Last year, she got replaced by the Man.
Is it just me, or has Lana just completely forgot that she's Russian?
Oh yeah, that's gone. That's gone, which is weird. It's kind of like the Kingston thing, where just one night she stopped doing it, and now she doesn't do it anymore.
The Scarlet Witch in the Avengers, like after one movie, she's like, you know what? I'm not Russian anymore.
Yeah. Kofi, aren't you supposed to be Jamaican? Yeah. It's gone. It's over. You can't come back from
that. Number 6 was somebody I was really surprised to see. Mercedes Martinez.
Yeah, that was kind of wild. Especially if you've been like an independent wrestling fan for as long as I have. To see Mercedes Martinez wrestling in the Royal Rumble just felt weird. Like, it felt kooky. Like, to me, that was as big of a deal as when AJ did it. Like, it was just one of those guys you never thought would come over. And I wish she had gotten to do more because she just kind of stood around. Like, they didn't do any big spots where it was like, let's just have Mercedes Martinez destroy the ring for a second.
Yeah.
She's like a brawler. She's a bruiser. Just have her run over everybody, stand tall for like 30 seconds, and then you can get back to your thing. Like, kind of like what they did with Edge. Edge. I'm spoiling it. He didn't have to eliminate all those dudes. He just had to hit them all with a spear. That's all people did.
But yeah, so I know she was a part of the first 2 Mae Young Classics.
Yeah, she worked in 2 Mae Young Classics, and then she was working for AEW like 2 weeks ago, and now she's signed with the WWE. Yeah, she did an AEW. She did Dark like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then
I'm way behind on Dark. So
yeah, she did Dark like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then apparently they were in negotiations, and then she decided she wanted to go to WWE because apparently they're going to move her into a trainer role, and so
okay,
because she's getting up there, and so she's gonna work for a little while, and then she'll move into that trainer role, kind of the Cassius Ohno spot where he's clearly wrestling. Like, he's working matches, but he's jobbing to everybody. He's never going to make the main roster, and then he'll be the best darn trainer in the biz.
Oh, yeah. Number 7 is Liv Morgan, who gets eliminated by Lana.
Stupid.
This never makes sense to me, and we're going to have to talk right now. How in the hell is it legal that someone who got eliminated, who is not in the match, or someone who wasn't even in the match to begin with, can eliminate somebody and have it still count?
I think the only excuse they have is that it's no disqualification, and so
Tell
technically
that to Finley.
they can't disqualify anyone.
Tell that to Finley. Finley is now the longest record holder for the Royal Rumble ever, going on 13 years now.
Yeah, but I mean, there was also the Hardcore Rumble in, like, what was it, 2000? Where
yeah,
Steve Blackman.
No,
2001.
2001, and then they kind of had an extreme spot in 2008's Rumble with that was the first one ECW was a part of.
Yeah, I just remember Steve Blackman coming out with a big trash can full of weapons, and they just went to town on each other for a while, and then they were like, "Well, the Royal Rumble is no disqualification," and I was like, "It is cool. I didn't know that." Okay.
Number 8 was Mandy Rose. Number 9 was Candice LeRae, which again, love seeing the NXT stars being able to mingle with the main roster. It makes the Rumbles now feel more full because you're able to pull from a lot of different places.
And Candice LeRae is sick.
Candice LeRae is amazing. Number 10 is Sonya Deville. Number 11 is Kairi Sane. So we'll talk about that block real quick. Mandy Rose is definitely someone kind of like Bianca. I wasn't high on to begin with, but I'm so glad they didn't go the Eva Marie route where she's just, she can actually go.
She's Eva Marie levels of hot, but she can work. Yeah, it's like she's a good worker, and I actually think she's got one of the best stories in WWE right now with the Otis thing. I think we
have to talk about that. It might be later on, but
it's so fun. Like, there's nothing more fun than her story with Otis right now. For
what
me,
is that anyway?
WWE.
Like I said, I've been out since November.
Otis is in love with her, and she was like super not into it at first, but now they're just like this adorable kind of couple. And it's the cutest thing in the world of the two of them. He cradled her and walked her around the ring the other week. It's just adorable.
To be honest, as someone who as I said, didn't watch Raw or SmackDown since like November, I watched this Rumble not knowing anything, and then all of a sudden I see freaking Otis laying down. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, I actually was really hoping they would do that spot or something like that.
By the way, Otis can teleport because he was not there a second ago.
I know, right? I was really wondering where he came from.
He was under the ring the entire time.
I guess it must have been an under the ring spot because I don't know where he would have come from other than under the ring. It was wild.
You can see Otis coming. So
oh yeah, I don't know. Maybe he booked it, but I was surprised by that too. He was just there. And I was like, oh, okay, Otis is here. Cool.
But that was a really cool, a real funny spot where, Mandy goes over and you think that she's eliminated, and Otis is just laying there catching her. And then she stands on Otis's chest and she just hops up.
Yeah, it was a great spot. I think that Otis and Mandy is just such a cute thing. And when Mandy inevitably turns on him, nuclear heat. It's going to be absurd amounts of heat. It'll work.
Yeah. So then we have Kairi Sane come out, which, am I going crazy or were they using her face theme for Kairi?
I don't know. I wasn't paying much attention.
It was the pirate princess theme that she used in NXT.
Who knows? Maybe her current entrance theme is considered a Kabuki Warriors theme, and she doesn't have a singles theme. That might be the.
So they just maybe
reasoning. It might be that she didn't come out to the Kabuki Warriors theme. She came out to her theme. That would make sense.
Yeah. Number 12 was Mia Yim. Again, huge fan of Mia, especially because I watched her in TNA. as Jade. So seeing her get her shot here is really cool.
Yep. Miriam is cool. She's always going to be cool. But again, it was one of those where it was like, neat. Like, I didn't know what else to say. Like, because she didn't do much. She came in, did through like a clothesline, and then that was her spot for the night.
Yeah. So next we had Dana Brooke and Tamina, which, poor Tamina, she came out and the whole crowd just died.
The fact that Tamina is still hired is beyond me. How is that woman still on the payroll? Like, she's the primo and epico of the women's division. Like, what are you doing? Like, do you just go to catering, collect your paycheck, and go home? Because honestly, that sounds like the sweetest gig on earth. Like, if you're not too passionate about wrestling to where you have to work to be happy, like, dang, that's a sweet deal, dude. That's the JTG deal, where JTG was signed for like 1,700 days. I think it was the last like 630 days of his contract or something. He didn't work a match before he got released.
Damn.
He just kept collecting paychecks.
All right, so number 15 was Dakota Kai, which ever since she turned heel, I've been more in love with her. I mean, I was already in love with her beforehand, but man, this heel turn has done wonders for her career.
That's my girl. You know, I love Dakota Kai, man. Like, she's a cool person outside the ring. She's a great worker. I remember when she was doing little indies, and then when she told me she had signed with NXT, I was like, that's way too cool. At the time, she was good. She's going by Evie. And it was crazy, man. I was blown away because we were just playing GTA 5, and she told me that she had signed with NXT. So I'm super proud of her. It's crazy seeing someone I know in the Rumble. I never thought that would happen.
Yeah, dude, that's like great on her, man, because she definitely has had some low points in NXT. It wasn't used for a little while, but now she's like she's one of their top stars.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's so cool. And I really hope that she gets a long run with the belt at some point.
Me too. Number 16 was Chelsea Green, which
for all of a cup of coffee.
Yeah. I'm not all the way caught up on NXT yet. I got like maybe 3 or 4 episodes. So she just debuted on the episode I'm on.
Yeah, I was confused. I thought her manager for a second was Zack Ryder.
Why is Robbie E from TNA some sleazy like agency owner?
It's a good question. When I first saw him, I thought it was Zack. I was like, oh, they put Zack Ryder with Chelsea Green? That's actually kind of dope. And then, no, it was Robbie E, and they were calling him some random name. I was like,
it's like Robert Stone, I think.
What is this man doing? Like, why don't you give that spot to Zack Ryder? He's her shoot husband. Like, he would perfectly work in that role because he's not doing anything and he can play a heel. Just put him there. Give him something to do. I mean, it just didn't make any sense. Like, use Robbie E as Robbie freaking E, dude. Because, I mean, what are you doing? Oh,
to be honest, this could work because the Robbie E character in TNA was kind of this sleazy Jersey Shore kind of character. So you turn that into a sleazy like agency owner, it could work if they give it time.
You have Zima Ion and Robbie E under a contract, and you're not using them as sleazeballs together. What? You think the NXT like Full Sail wouldn't mark out for DJ Z and Robbie E? They'd mark out for that team.
Granted, they wouldn't be able to use those names. So I think they're still copyrighted. But
I get that, but I'm just saying, like,
yeah,
you could do whatever. You could call him DJ Joaquin or whatever he goes by. It's Joaquin Wild. You can call him DJ Joaquin Wild and Robbie S. And there you go. Like, people would mark out.
DJJ.
Yeah, that works.
All right. Number 17 was Charlotte Flair. Yeah. Chelsea Green got eliminated in 12 seconds by Alexa Bliss. So 17 was Charlotte. 18 was Naomi, who great to see her back.
She's so good.
I didn't realize she was injured. I thought she just wasn't being used. And I was like, use Naomi.
Yeah, no, she'd been out for a while. Naomi,
that crowd reaction for her was insane.
Naomi got a super huge pop, which kind of surprised me, honestly. I didn't think she was going to get that big of a pop, but I'm happy she did because she's incredible. I think Naomi is one of the best wrestlers on the roster, which is ridiculous considering she came from being a Funkadactyl all the way to this. Like, she has developed so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of crazy. It's like how Velveteen Dream just a couple years ago was Patrick on Tough. It's like you just blown away by how some people can develop. It really shows you that when you are trained by, all the best trainers in wrestling, you can get pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
That performance center is just crazy. The amount of trainers they have in there who are mega talented.
Yeah, like what? You had Shawn Michaels, X-Pac, Sarah Mono, is that her last name?
Sarah. Oh my gosh. Why is this Sarah independent wrestler? It's Sarah. I can't find it. Whatever.
Hold on. Let me look this up real quick.
It's gonna aggravate me forever. Because this is something I definitely know. Sarah Lee.
Sarah Lee, isn't it? No,
No, that's not right either. That's a different person. Sarah Del Rey. Sarah Del Rey.
Yeah.
Sarah Del Rey. Yeah.
I was like, hold on, it's Sarah Del something. I was like, hold on.
Yeah. Sarah Del Rey.
Incredible talent over there. Number 19 was Beth Phoenix, which once I saw Beth Phoenix, I was like, okay, Edge has to be there now. Because that they go to the shows together.
Yeah.
If she's going to be in the Rumble match, then that means Edge is probably going to be in the male's Rumble match.
She wins Twitter for the week where she said, "Hey, Adam, I got a sitter for Sunday. What do you want to do for date night?" And then she posted both of their entrances. Like, that's an incredible tweet.
Oh, man. All right, no. So, yeah, Beth actually lasts a long time. She lasts 23 minutes.
Dude, shout out to Deathmatch Beth. Took a huge laceration off the back of her head and said, "No, referee, I am staying in."
What caused that? I heard it was like a post shot. Like she hit the
she was doing something with Natalia, and then she got thrown into the ring post, and Natalia was there, and then Natalia kind of sidestepped, but she kind of moved wrong when she was moving out of the way, and when she moved out of the way, her head just popped, and it was just. And the next thing you knew, she was just pouring blood out the back of her head. And all the refs you could see were like, it'll be on Botchamania. They were all like, we can have her throw you over like right now. And she was like, no, I'm staying in. She was like, you're not getting me out of this ring.
Awesome, man. Number 20 is Toni Storm, which I love Toni Storm, man.
Yeah, she didn't get to do much, but I think it's cool.
That's the story of this Rumble. Half the people didn't get to do anything.
Yeah, it was like they came in, but they were mostly just standing around, or they were cannon fodder for Charlotte or Shayna or Bianca, which I think it's cool that people were cannon fodder for Bianca because I didn't think that would happen. But, yeah.
Speaking of cannon fodder for Bianca, I think we missed this. The Natalia or the Naomi save was pretty cool this year.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I don't think
The
it's her,
bridge.
yeah, I don't think it's her best. I think the parkour John Morrison spot she did first was even cooler than the walking.
Yeah,
Because
it was that close.
It was a lot closer than John Morrison's. It was a lot harder than the spot that John Morrison did. And Morrison's spot was crazy, but that one was extra crazy because it was like
hers looked a little weird though, because she walked like she ran down the stairs and then did it, so it looked kind of weird. But
yeah,
I thought she was just gonna like stand on the announce table till like the final three and then do the bridge spot. And I was like, that's clever. Just stay where you can't get eliminated.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
But then she got in, and it was Bianca who eliminated her, right?
I'm not sure.
No, it was
eliminations are a blur.
No, it was Shayna.
Yeah, that sounds right. Because I feel like Bianca was out by
that. Number 21 was Kelly, who again only had like 2 minutes. Again, you talk about someone who, when she was wrestling, we saw a major improvement from like her very first match where she couldn't bump at all.
I'll give you that.
To her last match.
She held that Divas division captive for so long. The only way she will ever redeem herself is if she comes back for an actual run and she does the job for everybody. You lay on your back for Sarah Logan. You do not win a match. That's the only way.
It wasn't her fault.
No, it wasn't. But she was booked to the moon. I mean, the amount of times I had to watch Mickie James lie on her back for this woman. Oh my gosh. Get off my TV. Go away.
Speaking of Sarah Logan, nice segue. She was number 22.
Yeah, there's Sarah Logan. Sarah Logan did Sarah Logan things.
She lasted 28 seconds.
Yep.
Number 23 was Natalya, which again, seeing Beth and Natalya in the same match again was really, really cool.
Divas of Doom. I don't get why Beth Phoenix doesn't do what Edge has done, because she literally has no reason that she isn't working. Like none. There's no reason. She left because she was frustrated with her position in the card. And like now is the time, Beth. Like you're still
she's her mother too, so that make it a little bit harder on her.
And I get that, but that was, she even admitted that was an excuse when she originally left the company. She said that was an excuse, and that really she was upset with the women's division. Mm-hmm. And I feel like you could do so much with Beth Phoenix. Like a Beth Phoenix Becky feud would be really fun.
Beth Phoenix versus Charlotte.
Beth Phoenix Charlotte would be great too.
On. Oh, that would be a great match. Number 24 is Xia Li, which again, I'm becoming a huge fan of her on NXT.
She's good.
25 is Zelina Vega.
She's great. Zelina Vega is so
yes, she
good.
is.
Give her more to do.
Yes, dude. She is so good.
I get I think her and Andrade are great together. I don't think you should break them up, but I think you should use Zelina Vega more. Like, it would be cool if Andrade had like the US title and Zelina had the women's title. That would make them scary. They'd be a cool tandem then, because she is so much more than just a business partner. She's a great worker. It's how I feel so frustrated about Sami Zayn. It's like one of the best wrestlers in the world in the prime of his career is a manager? Are you kidding me? Like, it's like when they brought the genius Lanny Poffo into the WWF, and they were like, Lanny Poffo's here. And everyone was like, oh, heck yeah. And then they were like, but he's going to be a manager, though. It's like, what? He was better than Savage. He was a better wrestler than Randy Savage. I will stand by that until I die. And they were just like, yeah, but we're just gonna make him a manager, though. It's gonna be all right. Whatever.
All right. Number 26 was Shotzi Blackheart. Don't know a lot about her. I know she was a part of
Eve.
Huh?
Eve. Riot Girl Wrestling, EVE Promotions.
It was also part. She was also part of something else, right?
I don't know. She probably worked Stardom or something
No,
in Japan.
it's. Why am I forgetting the name? WWE is associated with them.
Shine Nova?
No.
She was the Shine Nova champion. Evolve?
Evolve.
Yeah. She's done a ton of stuff, which is crazy because she's only been around for like a couple of years. I think like maybe three or 4 years. She's so cool though. Oh my gosh. She has such a cool aura to her. She feels like everything Ruby Riott was supposed to be. Like Ruby Riott was supposed to be the punk superstar, but you could tell that she wasn't actually a punk in her day-to-day life. Shotzi Blackheart is. She would throw down with you at an Aquabats concert. Like, Ruby Riott, you never believed it. If, like, as a punk, as an active member of the punk scene, she felt like a real punk. Like, she feels like a real punk. Every time I see her, I go,
I just hope they do more with her than they did with Ruby Riott. Because I really liked Ruby, and they didn't do anything with her.
I mean, I stand by the fact that I was super sad when I heard that Shotzi signed with WWE over AEW because they both had laid out contracts for her. I thought she made the wrong call, but apparently it's been her dream her entire life, and so she just wants to do it, and I get that. So hopefully after her 5 years are up, she'll go to AEW because I think that's where she belongs because they'll use her. And I don't think WWE is going to use her right.
Which sucks because, as you said, as someone who doesn't know a lot about her, I want to see her more. Because this is literally my first time I saw her in ring. Her look, her aura, her presence.
And she wasn't even supposed to be in the match. That's the cool thing.
Really?
It was supposed to be Io Shirai up until like 3 hours before because they found out that Io is out for the next 2 months. And so they gave Shotzi her spot.
Io's injured?
Yeah, Io's out for 2 months.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, it does. But Shotzi getting her spot was cool.
Yeah. Number 27 was Carmella. Number 28 was another one of my favorites, Tegan Knox.
All right, and number 29.
I think you and me are going to be completely opposites here. Number 29, Santina Marella.
Every year I joke about Santina being in the Women's Rumble.
Dude, my brother was like, how funny would it be if Santina Marella showed up tonight? I was like, maybe.
When I heard Santina was in Houston, I said, they're going to put him in the Women's Rumble, aren't they? I was like, there's no way that they're giving one of the 4 surprise spots in the Men's Rumble to Santino. And I was right. They didn't. The only thing they could have done, and they should have done, is Santina should have eaten everybody's finisher. Santina should have taken the Nia Jax spot of, you're in the wrong Rumble, buddy, and just hit him with everything. Give him a glam plan, give him a shooter, give him a figure 8, give him a natural selection, just give him everything, and then just shoot.
I don't know. So you didn't like it, I'm taking.
I thought it's fine. I get it was funny, and I think Santino was a great comedy wrestler. I think he was really valuable. I think he's actually a great worker. He was a great worker. He could go. Especially like in
he went
his
with
match,
Daniel Bryan in the Elimination Chamber match.
That's what I was gonna say. Those two put on a great match. Now I will say, technically, I don't know how much of that was Santino because Daniel Bryan could wrestle anybody to a 5-star match. I mean, look at his Fiend match from later on in the night. I mean, the fact that he could work the Fiend that well says a lot about Daniel Bryan.
Bray Wyatt's also not a bad wrestler, though.
No, Bray Wyatt's not a bad wrestler, but he hasn't had a good match as the Fiend. He doesn't understand the character yet. He's got to find his way to wrestle as the Fiend because he's not there yet. Yeah. But he was with Daniel Bryan. I think he got it a little better. But at the same time, I don't know how much of that was him and how much of that was Daniel Bryan being Daniel Bryan. But Santino is great. He's a good comedy wrestler. I think it's fun to see him. But the Santina gimmick, was, I mean, it was so disrespectful to have Santina win the Miss WrestleMania Battle Royal. That was so disrespectful when people like Lita and Trish Stratus were in it, and it was like their first match in years. And
Gail Kim was in that one too, wasn't she?
Yeah, she eliminated herself from that because she was so angry. She just walked over the top rope. And she never won another match for WWE. She was done after that. She left. And she had every right to leave. But I just think that she should have taken the finishers. Santina should have gotten beat up.
Okay, you're probably going to hate me for this. I laughed my ass off. I thought it was great. I thought it was perfect timing because you had everyone's down in the middle of the ring. You had Beth Phoenix and Natalya. And then what do you hear? You look so. You're like, no, they're not.
At first, I thought it was Rico. Because that's who I identify that song with. I was like, is it Rico? For Charlie Haas? I was like, is it Rico? Charlie Haas? Who is this? And then, or I was like, Billy Gunn? Chuck Palumbo? They've used that theme too many times.
They have.
It's got to go.
They have. And out comes Santina Marella, and I popped huge because I was like, now, yes, that was dumb. One, I'm a huge Santino fan. I don't care what anybody says. The dude is a great comedy wrestler, as you said. And the fact that he walked into the ring, looked and saw Natalya on one side, Beth Phoenix on the other, pulled out the freaking Cobra, and just eliminated himself was perfect because he wasn't in there long. He eliminated himself because he was like, these two women could kick my ass right now. So I'm going to do it myself before they can. Boom! Eliminates himself. Perfect.
I just think he should have taken a beating. That's my only flack is I think he should have taken a beating. It would have been so representative of the evolution of women's wrestling. It's like, look how far we've come. Now let's all beat the snot out of Santina Marella.
But also, this comedy spot was actually done in the correct place, in my opinion. Because I hear a lot of people saying, like, why was this comedy spot done now and not earlier on? And it's because number 30 was Shayna Baszler, and that's where shit got serious. So it was a good, like, okay, time to have a lighter moment, and now Shayna comes down, and it's time for things to get super serious now.
Yeah, and Shayna had a great run. I thought
Shayna
she should have won. Yeah.
I'm so mad at that. But yeah, so Shayna goes on a roll, eliminates 8 people, and then she gets fucking eliminated by Charlotte Flair. And it's just like, really?
Charlotte Flair winning doesn't upset me, but at the same time, it doesn't enthuse me. Because I thought Shayna winning would have made a lot of sense because you could have done a lot of different things. You could have done Shayna Becky. Apparently Ronda's coming back, so you could have had Ronda win the Chamber. There were so many options, and now there's not. It's gonna be Charlotte Becky. There's no other.
Or hell, you could have done Shayna versus Bayley.
You could have done Shayna Bayley.
Because
I think Shayna Ronda is such a money match, though. That would have been so good.
Are you talking about Ronda versus Shayna?
Yeah, I think that would have been money.
Oh, I thought you were talking about having Becky versus Shayna, which would have worked too.
Becky versus Shayna would work too, but I'm saying Ronda versus Shayna would have worked because apparently Ronda's coming back from Mania, or at least around, like that's the rumor. And so she could win the Chamber, and then you could have had Shayna versus Ronda. You could have had Shayna beat Ronda. What a huge up that is.
Or hell, and I know that I don't know how I feel about 3 matches, but I think this one could have worked. Shayna versus Ronda versus Becky.
Yeah, that could have worked. And you probably could have redeemed last year's main event, which was garbage.
Either that or just have Shayna win the Rumble, choose Becky, and have the storyline where Becky goes, hey, a Survivor Series, remember who you didn't beat? the man. You didn't beat
Yeah.
me. You beat Bailey. I was never pinned. I never tapped out. You could have had that storyline of, okay, now Shayna has to prove herself. Can she prove herself at WrestleMania?
Yeah,
But
Charlotte
no,
just felt. Charlotte didn't feel like the right call at all.
she
It
doesn't
just
need
didn't.
it.
It didn't feel like the right call.
That-
Charlotte.
Good.
I mean, it literally just shows you immediately that the women will not be repeating as the main event. Shayna versus Becky could main event Mania.
Yeah.
Charlotte versus Becky cannot.
Mhm.
They will not main event Mania this year. It will be the Brock match.
Which I'm not mad at because Brock versus McIntyre
No,
would be
Drew's going to get
incredible.
to have that awesome moment at the end of Mania where he lifts the belt. That's going to be great, and I'm happy for him. But I just think it's stupid because the women could have main evented Mania again, and it would have been so huge for them to main event Mania 2 years in a row. And this year they could have give them 25 minutes and just let Shayna and Becky do what they could do. It would have been great, but instead, no.
It's going to be the same old
Charlotte Becky chapter
Oh,
75.
again, and you're like, I've seen this. It's like when Charlotte and Sasha were wrestling every single fucking week, and the belt changed hands like 25,000 times between the two of them. And you're just like,
Yeah.
why? And that's what pisses me off more is Charlotte doesn't need it. She main evented WrestleMania last year. She's a 10-time women's champion. You could have gave it to Shayna.
I just don't even know, man. It was all right. The Rumble, I will say the Rumble was good.
The Rumble match itself was good. We, to be honest, this is probably the weakest of the three.
It felt like a road agent sat down and wrote out the first 3/4 of the match, and he was really passionate and he had a vision, and then he passed it off to another guy who wrote out the final fourth, and he didn't have that same
That's the problem
vision.
with WWE writing nowadays. You got to go through 75 people before it gets approved. And nothing seems to go right anymore when Vince is the only head, yes or no, and you got to go through 70 people to get it approved before it gets to Vince.
Especially with these cross-brand matches where you have to get it through Heyman and Pritchard. It's like, oh, what are you going to do?
Right?
No, Bischoff's gone. They fired Bischoff for Pritchard.
What?
Yeah, man, you got to keep up.
Dude, I've been watching AEW and NXT right now, so.
Me too. I just keep up with the news by watching Cultaholic News every morning when I wake up.
Yeah. All right, so next match is for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bailey taking on Lacey Evans. Again, I'm going to ask a dumb question. When did Lacey Evans become a face?
This was actually more recent. It was like 3 weeks ago.
She plays a better.
She cut like a John Cena promo where she was like, "I love America, I love my husband, and I love you." And the world was like, "Yeah, Lacey Evans." And then Bailey was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Look at this bitch." And then the rest of the crowd was like, "Yeah, Lacey Evans." And Bailey was like, "All right, I'm gonna kick her ass." And so she just started kicking her ass. And that's the feud.
My God. Lacey plays such a better heel than she does face. She's like Randy Orton. I do not buy Orton as a face. I buy Orton as a heel.
Yeah. This match was fine. All right, moving on.
Yeah, nothing really special here. Though I will say, Bailey's heel work is getting much better.
Bailey's great. I think she's my favorite. Yeah, you know what? I think she's my favorite main roster women's wrestler right now. I think she's really great.
Wow.
Yeah. I think,
It's Becky for me, but.
I like Becky. I don't like her more than Bailey right now. I think Bailey's more interesting. Because Becky's been doing the same thing for 12 months, you know, and I like the man character,
But the difference between the man and Austin is that Austin was always doing something huge, and the man doesn't. She just kind of keeps doing the same thing. She doesn't have the milk truck. She doesn't have the beer truck moments, you know? And then, like, no one would parody anything that Becky did. Like, there would never be a milk truck to anything Becky has done, because she just hasn't done anything interesting enough to keep me interested in a character who's supposed to be like Austin, but isn't Austin.
I just think what's really cool about Becky, though, is that she feels more unique than anyone on the roster. Does that make sense?
she's
like she feels more standalone of anybody on the main roster.
yeah.
And I don't know, it's just like, it feels like it's great that she's getting all these moments when, like, she's always been overlooked, you know, by like Bailey and Sasha and Charlotte. Now she's the one that everyone's talking about.
Yeah. And that's awesome. But I need something new from her. I'm getting stale on the man just being the man over and over again.
Yeah.
I feel like Asuka revitalized her character a little by just being a great foil to her, by making Becky desperate.
Mhm.
That worked really well. I mean, Becky showed a sign of desperation where she felt like the underdog, even though she was the champ. It was because she could just tell she was scared of Asuka.
Which we'll get into that after the next match, which might be my second favorite match of the night. The strap match for the Universal Championship. The Fiend Bray Wyatt taking on Daniel Bryan.
It's crazy what the Fiend can do when you let him work in actual lighting.
I know, right? Thank God the red light is gone.
I wouldn't be so sure it's gone, but at least it was gone for this match.
Don't put it out there in the universe. It's gone.
The only problem is I think chemistry is hard to do with the Fiend because he's kind of like a super Taker. He's like, Taker was always had the possibility of coming back, but if he lost clean, you would just be like, wow, he beat the Undertaker. But if anyone beats the Fiend, you're going to be like, but that's not in this character. The Fiend can't lose. Like, they've kind of booked themselves into a corner because they gave him all the Infinity Stones. And he said, go. And he can just beat anybody. Like, Daniel Bryan beat the tar out of this man. And then he's just, whoop, I'm back.
By the
and
way,
Sister Abigail, mandible claw.
Everyone's going to hate me for saying this. I love the part of this match where Daniel Bryan is whipping the Fiend and the Fiend just like is standing there taking it.
No, I thought that was cool. I think the Fiend is great. I just don't think he can lose, which is the problem. I don't think that he can.
I think he can lose, and I think the way they can do it, and it might be a little weird, but just have, and I think that's kind of what they're doing here. Bring the Fiend out for the big 4 pay-per-views. And then the rest of the small pay-per-views, like a TLC or a Backlash or whatever you're calling it, have it be Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt.
Just have it be Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt. Have him defend the title, have him win, but have him kind of be like, he's slowly starting to get weaker and weaker, and that's when the Fiend has to come out for the big events.
I think Bray will have to take the loss because I just don't think that they can pin the Fiend. I don't think that you can pin the Fiend. The only way they could do it is if it was like a type of match where it's like an ambulance match where you have him placed somewhere, like a casket match or something, where it's like the Fiend is in this thing. He didn't lose, really. He just got put somewhere. Yeah.
Bryan should have had crushed some bricks on his head. The ref would have ended the match
all
right
you need
there.
is a little mallet, man. That's all. Disqualification.
No, right? Which, by the way, why did they start the Fiend's like big title feud with a DQ win?
Because they didn't actually want to pull the trigger on him winning the belt, and they had to call an audible. He wasn't supposed to win the belt in Saudi Arabia. Are you kidding me? That was never the plan. That was never the plan until they were like, all right, well, people are very mad, so let's put the belt on him.
But
I mean, apparently the Mania plans aren't even finished yet, which is crazy because usually this time of the year, Mania's done. Apparently they haven't even booked the Fiend's match yet. They don't know who he's working. So that shows you, because I think they were going to have Rollins hold the belt through to this time. And now that they called that audible and they gave it to the Fiend, they've just been playing catch up. They're trying to catch up and figure out what the heck they're doing with the Fiend. But the problem with the Fiend is you made a character that everyone loves so much, but you made him invulnerable, and now no one knows what to do with him.
I have an idea, and I think I've told you this already. Just have Finn Balor come up. Have him be like, hey, okay, I have a new edge to me. The only way I can beat the Fiend is to bring out my own Fiend. Out comes the demon. He's the demon with the new Finn Balor attitude. He doesn't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah, I get that. Also, NXT, make up your mind. Is he Prince Balor or Finn Balor? I'm sick of it. Every week it's something different. But anyway, yeah, I get that, but I don't think that they're going to pull him up. I don't think they're going to call him back up because I don't think he's going to want to be called back up. It works on paper because the Demon feels like the only character that's on par with the Fiend, but I just don't see them doing it. I don't see that happening just because they're working Balor the way they are right now. Like he's supposed to be back to the real rock and roll Prince Devitt era of Finn Balor. And oh my gosh, just file the trademark and call him Prince Devitt. Like, goodness, it's his real life last name. It's not that hard. Like, I'm sure you can get that trademark. New Japan is not renewing it. Whatever. Anyway, that's another hill to die on. But
I don't mind what they're doing with Finn Balor in NXT. I love it, but
no, I think it's good. I think it's really good. I think they're probably going to put the NXT title on him, but I think that's as far as it's going. I don't think they're going to make him Universal Champion. I hope he gets out of there before his career ends. I hope he does a couple more years on the indies, just because I think it would be really fun to see him scrap with the current heap of independent wrestlers. But
by the way, the casual fan, I don't know if you've seen this, said, small part of me was hoping Aleister Black won the Rumble last night to challenge the Fiend.
When I saw Aleister in there, I thought, maybe. I really did think maybe they were going to put him over just because I was like, they want to do the big shock because he was in there so late. I was like, oh. And they were making him look so strong. I was like, they might give it to Aleister Black.
All right, we're getting way off topic here. We're supposed to be talking about The Fiend versus Daniel Bryan, which to me was a very good match.
Yeah, we did.
Like, I love the fact that now it seems like The Fiend is selling more offense. And then when he gets hurt enough, then out comes the impervious, invincible Fiend. So, like, there's a way to hurt him. You just got to hurt him enough. You got to beat him down so much where he doesn't have that second life.
Yeah, I think that the Fiend selling for Daniel Bryan was cool. I think it's really cool that the knee he took a 2 count for, which is kind of fun because he took a 1 count to 14 curb stomps. But one knee was
as you should. As you should. One of the cool strap spots was the label lock with the strap up under the nose. So she's pushing back the strap into the nose of the Fiend.
Yeah, I'm a little confused that he's still calling it the label lock. And he hasn't gone back to the yes lock just because the yes movement is apparently back and alive again. So
yeah. Mm-hmm. Dude, to me, Daniel Bryan with the short haircut seems to got younger.
Yeah. I won't agree with the people who tell me he looks like he hasn't aged. Because I'm like, nah, I watched that 2011 Rumble 2 days ago. He has aged. But he looked great. I will give him credit for looking great, but he's definitely aged. Because he looks great. In that 2011 Rumble, he looks incredible. And he looks good now, but he looks ridiculously good when him and Punk are running the ropes.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, one of the best spots of this match was the running knee attempt into the Sister Abigail out of nowhere.
That Sister Abigail was brutal.
Dude, it was mid-air, and he caught him coming right through with it. That timing was incredible.
You know they ran that 6 or 7 times.
But yeah, the Fiend ended up winning by what was it, a mandible claw into a choke slam into a pin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, he didn't just take the Fiend to Kick City, Brian Zane. He took him to he pulverized him. He went like 7 or 8 times, just low blowing the Fiend.
Hey, I mean, how are you going to beat a guy like the Fiend? I guess that's worth a shot.
Casual fan said, I think everyone knew Fiend was going to win, but Brian had me believing last night that he could pull it off. Great match, great performance from both guys. Yeah.
The strap label lock made me think it was over.
Me too.
I thought they were going to pull the trigger. I was like, oh, okay, they're going to put the belt on Brian. People are going to be mad about that, but okay.
All right. So, yeah, great match. Now let's move on to the penultimate match. Becky Lynch defending her Raw Women's Championship against Asuka.
Asuka is the best, dude. Oh, my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Becky was good in this match, but it was definitely an Asuka show. Like, it felt like the Asuka show. Like, Becky was doing her thing, but Asuka was doing her thing.
Dude, Asuka took pretty much an unprotected front suplex from inside the ring to the outside floor.
Asuka's insane. I think Asuka deserves the world. I think it's awesome that she's not SmackDown. She's women's tag team champion. Please let the Kabuki Warriors hold that for a while. Don't just pull it off them too fast. Let them do what they're gonna do. Cause man,
and please do more with the Smack or the tag team belts.
Yeah, you got to, especially because there's enough tag teams. I mean, you have the Iconics, you have Alexa Bliss and Cross, you have Sasha Banks and Bayley. You have these teams, like use them. You could probably get the Divas of Doom if you call Beth Phoenix a week in advance. You know, like it's just. Yeah, it's a lost cause. But Asuka looked so good.
I'm gonna disagree with a casual fan.
I'm also gonna disagree. I would have liked Asuka to win, but
I don't
Becky
think she should have won.
Yeah,
because I feel like
Becky's gotta hold it for a year.
Though I did have an idea that may have worked better than a Becky Charlotte match again. I would have liked to seen Asuka take on Charlotte for the title. Because then you could have had a callback where Asuka gets her win back from WrestleMania 34.
Yeah.
That like everybody just forgot that she never got her win back from Charlotte.
I just don't want to see another Asuka transitional champion run. And I feel like that's all it would be. Like she might hold it for 3 months and then they'd move it on to somebody else. Especially because it's the Raw Women's title, which is the predominant one. And so it's like, oh, Ronda's back. You're doing the job. Like
it would have made the road to Mania a lot more interesting. It would have, yeah.
I don't know if it would have, because I feel like Becky has more matchups that like are important now. I mean, granted, they wasted it by putting her with Charlotte, but I think Becky had more interesting matchups on the table to work. Because she could have lost
Shayna.
Like she definitely could have lost in the chamber too, and that would have been a big deal. And she still might. So I guess we're not entirely sure that we are going to see Becky Charlotte because she could always lose in the chamber.
Who would you give it to though?
That's the thing. I don't know. Unless Ronda comes back, I have no idea.
But that's the thing. Who wants to see a Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey match?
Non-wrestling fans, and they care about that. I can tell you from experience. My non-wrestling friends, they love Ronda. They watch.
I mean, Ronda's good, but really, again,
Yeah, I think Ronda's going to, like, we're all pretty high on Ronda right now, but I think eventually she's going to have Brock heat, where she just comes and wins because she's the crossover star.
I hope not.
Goes away again.
And to be honest, I don't see that happening because Ronda is legitimately a fan of pro wrestling.
Oh, she is.
Like,
she's
she
also a
loves-
fan of her bank account.
True, but the difference is Brock doesn't care about wrestling anymore. Like, he just does it for a paycheck. I think Ronda would actually do it for the love of the sport.
I think Brock does love wrestling. I think there is still love there. I think he hates the WWE. But I think I would like to see Brock's DVR. Because I feel like Brock might be watching some New Japan.
It's like hunting shows.
And AEW. I will bet money that Brock Lesnar watches AEW.
I don't want to see that match either.
Yeah, that's heel versus heel. I don't want to see that at all. That's terrible. And Bayley needs to hold the belt for a year. I want Bayley to hold the belt for 365. She's so close. Let her do it.
But let's get back to this match because we somehow get off topic. But yeah, this match was really good because the story behind it really worked. So literally, Becky has not beaten Asuka. She has to beat Asuka to prove herself.
Tom Phillips with the call of the year. The debt has been repaid. That was such an incredible call. That guy, Tom Phillips, one of the most underrated commentators in the biz right now. That dude's great.
Dude,
that was a great call.
The ending of the match, though, I really enjoyed. Even though it was positioned weird because Becky spin kicks Asuka with the mist. Normally when that spot happens, they go forward.
Yeah.
For some reason, she got kicked in the stomach and went backwards. That was a little weird, though.
To be fair, that's actually a more realistic sell. Because if you watch like martial arts, when you do a spin kick, it usually does push your opponent backwards. Not forward. You don't crumple from a spin kick. You move backwards from a spin kick. Like, usually it's going to plunge you backwards. So I was able to suspend my disbelief because that's actually a more realistic sell.
Okay. But yeah, so Asuka has the green mist, which I'm so glad that she's using the green mist because that just adds another like heel element to her character.
It's great. And the way she works it into her face paint, it's so cool.
Dude, speaking of that,
so scary.
Speaking of her mask or whatever, I hate the 3D models they have in front of the entrances. I liked the Asuka one because it showed like almost a transition through her career. You started off with the blank mask, then you had Asuka in NXT, then you had her main roster debut, then you had this new green
covered in the green mist.
Yeah. I like that one. I hate the rest of them.
Yeah, they're not great usually. Especially that Alexa Bliss one looked like it was made in MS Paint. Terrible.
The Randy Orton one looks weird too.
Yeah, they're not very smart. Like, why do you do that? It's so stupid. Just build a set. Damn it.
Yeah.
AEW can afford it, so can you.
But yeah, this match was really good. I really enjoyed this match.
Yeah, I thought it was really solid. I think Asuka is so good, and I think Asuka is going to continue to be good forever. And I think she'll retire being good. I don't think there will ever be a bad Asuka match because, I mean, I think she's going to be a lot like Aja Kong, where Aja Kong can still put on great matches now, and she's like 50-something.
Yeah.
It'll never – I feel like Asuka's from that same mold where she's just so good. She's so good. And the match was great. I think that Asuka looked awesome. I think the ending with them looking at each other and like that reverence and just like the respect for one another and the nodding of the head was super cool. And Asuka just looked like a mess, which was dope.
Oh yeah, because the green mist like went up and then landed back in her face, so it was like a done to you now. What you've done to somebody else.
It was like a WrestleMania 9 Mr. Fuji Salt.
Yep. All right.
Gosh, I really referenced Mania 9.
Oh my god.
All right, men's rumble.
This is the one you've been waiting for, huh? All right, guys. This is the men's Royal Rumble match. So I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go first 5 entrants all the way through.
Brock dumped him. 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 Brock hugged him, and then he dumped him. MVP's here, and then he dumped him.
All right. Hold on. We gotta talk about this match, okay? Brock Lesnar did come in number 1, which we knew that already. Number 2 was Elias, which kind of surprised me. I was kind of hoping it'd be R-Truth, because why not? Number 3 is Eric Rowan. Number 4 is Robert Roode. Number 5, John Morrison.
That bummed me out. I wish that Morrison had come out in a later spot in the Rumble. I wish he had gotten to do stuff because John Morrison was one of my favorites as a kid, and it was a bummer. But yeah, so Brock
5 just
Elias started singing for a second. He got dumped out. Rowan came in.
By the way, Lesnar slipped. Lesnar slipped and almost hit the barricade.
That is true.
Me and my brother were like, wait, he just slipped? Wait a minute.
Then Rowan got dumped out. And then who was number 4?
Roode.
Roode got dumped out. And Morrison thought he was going to do something cool. No, he gets dumped out.
Number 6, though, is where it gets interesting. Kofi Kingston comes out.
Yeah, this was cool.
What's cool about that is I'm not going to ruin anything. I love the storytelling in this Rumble. This might be my favorite Rumble match of all time.
Yeah,
the storytelling is on point throughout the entire match.
I almost thought they were going to do what Adam Blampier had pitched for this Rumble. I thought that maybe they were going to have Kofi eliminate Lesnar because Adam Blampier is back, and that's awesome.
What?
All props in the world to Adam Blampier. Yeah, he's with Wrestle Talk. He did a Rumble fantasy booking, and it's great. And he booked Kofi to win the Rumble, and it was very similar to what happened, except for it turned out a little better for Kofi.
How did I not hear about this? I gotta watch this when I get off of here.
Yeah, for sure,
dude. I'm so happy he's back. So yeah, 6 was Kingston. He lasted until number 7 came in, which was Rey Mysterio. Again, great storytelling. It's literally people that Lesnar has pissed off now.
Yeah.
And then number 8 was Big E. So you had Big E, Ray, and Kofi all team up against Lesnar, and then they all get eliminated.
Such a cool moment, though, where Big E was rallying the troops, and he was like, come on, we got this, this, let's go.
Give it up to Lesnar, though. He took 3 finishers. Give it up to Lesnar.
Yeah, no, I will say this. Lesnar worked. I will give that. Lesnar worked. He worked for 33 minutes. And I mean, Michael Cole literally on the announce team was like, people say this and that about Lesnar, but no matter what you say,
he lasted 26 minutes.
26 minutes, okay. They were like, do not deny that this man had a great performance tonight. And I was like, you know what? You're right. That was good. Brock worked.
Number 9 was Cesaro, and you're just like,
Yeah, but they did that on purpose. They wanted to eliminate the internet's favorites. They were like, have Lesnar kill him.
I love this number 10 spot. It's Shelton Benjamin. And I was like, seeing Lesnar just like going to the hug, hey, buddy. And then Paul Heyman says something to Shelton like, I'm proud of you. Get in there and team up with Brock Lesnar. And then what does he do? Lesnar hugs him for a second and then eliminates him.
Yeah.
The Minnesota
Graves looked like such an idiot on commentary. He was like, oh, they're gonna work together, and then immediately it was ruined. He was like, oh, well, I thought he might take an ally for a little while.
They were the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, right?
Yes, they were
The
teammates.
WW?
They were teammates in and they were teammates in college, weren't they?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they were there at the same time.
Yeah, they trained together.
Yeah. Apparently they're very close in real life. So
Number 11 was Shinsuke Nakamura, and again, you're just like,
it's such good booking though. They're like, feed him Nakamura, feed him all your favorites. Just go. Literally that stable that exists right now that is just like the internet guys. Sami Zayn, Nakamura, Cesaro, just get them in there, get them tossed around.
and again, that made everybody so mad, but then when the moment comes, it's that much sweeter. Number 12 was MVP, the first surprise of the night. I'm so glad to see him.
Yeah. I'm glad to hear that he's working more dates than just the Rumble. So
nice
I hope
Black Panther attire too.
I hope he does something.
Have you? Speaking of MVP, have you seen the video of him and Shad from Crime Time reacting to Kofi Kingston's win at Mania?
Oh yeah.
They are literally tearing up, and I was like, "That's a great moment right there."
I mean, I was there and I cried. As being a person of color, it was a magical moment.
Dude, if you cried at that Mania, you would have gone crazy at this if you were here live.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Number 13 was Keith Lee. Another
solid bask in his glory. Oh, bask in his glory. It was awesome that the crowd chanted that. I wasn't sure how over he was going to be in front of a main roster crowd, like how many of them were going to know him, and it was really cool. I wish they had sang Don't You Forget About Keith instead of bask in his glory, but it was still cool.
Dude, I am so happy that they are treating Keith Lee like a star.
Dude, Brock Lesnar, literally, my favorite gif from the Rumble is him going, oh, big boy.
Big boy. And I could be wrong, but I thought I read Lesnar's lips when he was like, hey, Paul, look at this big motherfucker.
I believe it.
And dude, correct me if I'm wrong, he was one of the first like solo guys to knock Lesnar down.
Not
like,
did it.
No, he hit him with a kick. He didn't drop him.
He didn't drop him with the spin kick?
No.
I thought he dropped to his knees.
No, he stumbled back.
Okay.
But
yeah, I guess he would have been the first person to
was the first guy by himself to just bowl through Lesnar. And you see it on Lesnar's face too. He's like,
yeah, he looks scared.
That's the only time I've seen Lesnar kind of like back up in this match where he's like, oh, whoa. And I was like, that's beautiful selling for like Lesnar for a small time that Keith Lee was in this match. Keith Lee was made in this match.
Yeah. And then, the next person's music hit.
Bro! You're like, 3 big boys.
Dude, yeah, just
this is the moment I would have Hurricane come out right after this.
I will admit this was my response in my room. I was sitting there and I said, oh, they just gonna put all the big niggas in here. I was like, all right, cool.
This is the moment where after all 3 in the ring, that's when I would have Hurricane come out. And he gets halfway there and he goes.
Just walks out. Yeah.
Number 15 was Ricochet. Number 16 was Drew McIntyre.
We should probably talk about what Brock did to Braun and Keith Lee.
Oh yeah, just whoop.
They're gone.
Yeah.
Which the crowd was like, "Oh, that's it then." people thought that was the best chance that Brock was going to get eliminated, and it's over now.
Yep. So, yeah, let's talk about these three right here. Ricochet, McIntyre. Let's talk about those two right now.
Ricochet gets tossed. McIntyre is trying to fight him. He gets tossed. And then all of a sudden, Brock's kind of posted up. Ricochet just kicks him in the dick. McIntyre nails him with a Claymore. Brock goes over the top. They do the Rainmaker camera, and the crowd goes ballistic.
That's why I think Brock's time in the Rumble was the perfect link. Because everyone, after Keith Lee, as you said, everyone was like, oh, God, Lesnar's winning. Then you hear Drew McIntyre's music, and you're like, oh, God, they're feeding him to him. And then he survives a little bit. You're like, okay. You know, McIntyre's going to get eliminated, obviously, because Lesnar's on this roll. Then Ricochet comes out, and you're like, he's going to get eliminated. And then finally it happens, and the camera pans up, and you see everybody is behind McIntyre at this point.
Such a monster reaction. I mean, it was so good. It was,
dude.
That was
one of the loudest reactions of the night.
Yeah, unfortunately, very usurped later with a different entrance.
And everyone's like, oh, Lesnar's time in the Rumble lasted too long. No, it didn't. It lasted the perfect time. Because if you wouldn't have had him go that far, the crowd probably would have forgotten what happened when he got eliminated.
I don't think it lasted. I'll say I don't think it lasted like far too long. I just think maybe 2 or 3 entrants earlier would have made sense for me personally. I think it was a little bit on the long side. I was listening to Tom Campbell talk about it, and he said that it kind of felt like when a band, you're waiting for the encore, and they wait just a couple minutes too long, so half the crowd kind of checks out. Because people on Twitter were already like, oh, I turned it off. And and I get why they were already there. Like after that many entrances, they were just like, I turned it off.
Think about it though. He didn't eliminate anybody of substance up until
he eliminated a lot of people's favorites, man. Cesaro, Nakamura.
I mean, yeah, they're the audience's favorites, but you could tell that they're the position on the card. They're not going to give it to Cesaro. I'm sorry. I love Cesaro. I know you love Cesaro. They were not going to give it to Cesaro. They were not going to give it to Braun because I think his time is over, sadly.
Whoa. Braun's so young. He'll be back.
No. I mean, I think the audience hype for Braun is over.
Oh, okay. I think Braun will get over again if they put him in a main event feud.
I mean, I'm not looking at this as a fan. I'm looking at this at what WWE thinks these wrestlers are.
No, I get that, but how old is Braun?
No, dude, I legit think Braun could be he's still got time to be a world champion. It's just see him like that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really look at the people he eliminated, it's people that weren't going to win to begin with. It sucks. Because I think Keith Lee will win one year. He's just a little too new to give the win.
Yeah, I mean, if McIntyre wasn't going to win the whole thing, I would have had Keith Lee get the elimination. I would have had him pounce Lesnar out of the ring.
Oh, yeah.
But,
But again, they set it up perfectly to where when McIntyre hit that boot, everyone was like, oh, no, he's going to stumble out. He's going to stumble against the ropes and he's eliminate him. No, Lesnar flies the fuck out of the ring, and the reaction was beautiful. Because my brother, I was watching it like in the living room with my brother. He was like, Lesnar's just going to win the whole thing. And then when McIntyre eliminates him, we both jump out. We're like, yeah! Going crazy about it. Because to me, maybe it was a little too long, maybe 1 or 2 entrances. But to me, they always went to the edge of the rope where they're like, maybe we can get one more. And then, boom, the cannon goes off. and everybody goes nuts.
Yeah. All right, let's power through this because the rest of the Rumble is good. It's the best Rumble ever. But come on, let's get to the fireworks, baby.
So yeah, McIntyre eliminates Brock Lesnar, which is a huge pop. Next we have The Miz, AJ Styles, Dolph Ziggler, Carl Anderson, and then we got number 21.
You think you know me, know me.
Hey, I don't get copyrighted, okay?
For those of you who do not know, my favorite wrestler of all time is Mr. Adam Edge Copeland. Yes, I do have my name on here as Edge Mark. He was my guy when I first got into wrestling as a kid. I was just like, that's the coolest guy in the world. And I will stand by him no matter what he does. And I was a diehard Edge and Christian fan. I love Edge's solo work. I think he's the best heel the WWE has ever seen. I think that he was the only heel that ever felt like I never got sick of seeing him. It was never X-Pac heat. It was always legitimate heat. And it felt like the crowd always respected him, even when he was a bad guy. And then he was a great good guy, too. His feud with Kane on SmackDown was awesome.
Even though he kind of acted like a heel, he kidnapped Paul Bearer and tortured him. But
for laughs, so it was fine. It was so great just to see that moment where he looks like he's about to cry.
Oh, dude.
And I cried in my room. I will not deny that. I was crying. It was just such a beautiful moment when you saw, and you could just see his thought process was, it's real. Like, the triple fusion neck surgery worked, and I get to wrestle again. And you just see him throw those up, and the pyro goes crazy. And then, I mean, it was the biggest pop in Rumble history by far. The crowd went ballistic. And then when he just started throwing out spears.
That's the one thing I don't like. Why did they cut the audience?
They missed the spear to Dolph. It's on their YouTube channel if you want to see it. It's a good spear because Dolph sells the spear better than anybody.
Dolph is the ultimate seller when it comes to things like that.
Yeah, so Dolph was actually one of my favorite Edge feuds. They had an awesome feud together.
Is that the one where at one point Edge couldn't use the spear?
Yes, and so he pulls out the execution and he wins.
Yeah,
which was awesome because no one saw that coming. Everyone was just like, "Oh, so Dolph's gonna win the belt this way," and then he just swung him out and hit him with the most monstrous execution. I remember marking out so hard as a kid, dude. It's just, I'm going to go watch so many Edge matches. I'm going to watch whatever the heck he did on Raw tonight because I know
apparently he signed for a 3-year contract.
Which is so good because
so cool.
I think he deserves to get a Shawn run. You know, Shawn said the only reason he ever came back was so that he could end it on his own terms. And I feel like that's the same way that Edge feels. I feel like now Edge can go out however he wants. He can end his career however he wants.
To a loss against Baron Corbin.
He can. I mean, if that's how he wants to go out, he can go out that way. Edge actually loves Baron Corbin, so I wouldn't be shocked. But Edge is going to do whatever he wants. He's going to get whatever match he wants. I think the right thing to do is Edge versus Cena. Both of them leave after that match. You do Edge versus Cena one last time, and then they're both done. You know, but that's going to be in a couple years. I think that's what you have to do.
I would like to see, I know it's never going to happen, this is dream booking here. I want to see Edge versus Christian one last time.
I mean, that might happen. You might get it at some point in the run because Christian can definitely still go. His retirement just kind of felt like he felt misused more than anything. It felt like a Beth Phoenix retirement where he was just like, well, if you're not going to use me, I'm 39. Like, you know, I'm done.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to see them just go one last time. Whether it's, you know, just a friendly rivalry match. You don't have to make a big story out of it. Just, hey, I want to wrestle.
Toronto.
Huh?
Do it in Toronto.
Yes.
I mean, that would be huge.
Oh, dude, that would be great.
Yeah, I think it would be really fun to see Edge versus Christian, but I think Edge has to go out against John Cena. I think that's the right call. It's the right move. It was his best feud of his career. It was the feud that made him. I think those two wrestling their final matches with each other would be so poetic. It would be perfect, and I really hope that they do it. But I'm just so happy that my favorite wrestler is back, and he's back for at least 3 more years. That's awesome. That's so awesome. Because you never know. He could sign another deal after this if he decides.
Yeah.
If he decides he can still go. If he thinks I still got it in the tank, I want to do some more.
Now, you might disagree with me here. I think Edge looks better now than he did in his prime.
He looks better than he's ever looked.
Yeah.
In terms of body. I mean, he needs to dye the facial hair, but other than that, he looks.
Oh, come on. Yeah. I like old Viking gray hair.
Grizzled veteran Edge. It doesn't fit the character. I mean, unless he's going to change his character, like polish on and actually change his character, then he's got to dye the beard. It's because if he's going to be the rated R superstar, he's got to do something.
Dude, and we're kind of skipping over everything, but
yeah, I mean, well, you don't have to go through each entrant. Basically, there was one major story out of this Rumble, and it was Edge. I mean, because everything was going to be overshadowed. The second that Edge's music hit, it was like the crowd doesn't care what happens now; they will go home happy.
See,
with their cups.
I don't know. I think Edge was a big story, but I think the fans were even more excited for the winner of the Rumble match. Just because the story worked out so well through the Rumble match itself.
I don't think the fans in attendance were. I think maybe on Twitter, the fans were more excited. I don't think the pop for Drew winning was nearly as big as the pop for Edge. And Edge's elimination got a huge boo, which, like, people booed like crazy.
It wasn't as bad as I was anticipating it being.
They didn't hijack the match, which I thought they might. I'll admit, I thought Edge should have won. Purely based on the fact, here's my reasoning for thinking Edge should win. Drew McIntyre, Brock Lesnar's already set up through Drew eliminating Lesnar. Now it's just confirmed. If Edge wins the Rumble, you can set him up to face whoever the SmackDown champion is at the time, and you could take it off the Fiend in the chamber if you wanted to. Have all 5 guys beat him up or whatever and dogpile him and eliminate him. And then you could set up a champion to face Edge at Mania. I feel like you had a natural kind of progression there that McIntyre, because now we have no idea what to do with the Fiend at Mania. Who the heck is he going to work? And now he's either got to lose the belt in the chamber, or he's going to have a really weird Mania match that he's going to win. Like they'll put him against Kane or something. And
that might probably confirmed for Super Showdown, but
yeah, so they won't do that. But
in an Inferno match, no less.
Yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be cool. But I just think I think that Edge winning would have made some sense purely based on that, because I feel like McIntyre eliminating Lesnar was already like, okay, that's the Mania match. You guys are gonna face each other. But by Edge Rumble, you could give him the SmackDown win, and then you could have had him bring back the big gold belt, and that would have been magic.
The only way I could have seen Lesnar versus McIntyre with the story progression really working, if you're not going to give Drew the Rumble match, is you have Lesnar come out and eliminate him. Then that's the feud right there.
Yeah, I would have been fine with that.
But again, that's something we've seen a lot, though. I'm glad that they gave Drew what, in my opinion, he deserves.
I am not upset at all that Drew won. I just don't know what SmackDown's going to do. Yeah. I feel like Raw kind of already had their thing by having McIntyre do the elimination. Yeah, you could have Lesnar come right back out and just dump him out. And then it's like, all right, McIntyre, Lesnar at Mania. And now, oh my gosh, Edge won the Rumble. And I get the reasoning that they went with Drew winning. And Drew winning is awesome. He's fresh. He's the guy now. He looks like $1 million. And when he wins at Mania, he's going to look like $1 billion. But Edge just had so much support. And I saw everybody on Twitter saying like similar things where they were just like, I'm glad Drew won, but man, it would have been nice just to see, because it feels kind of heartbreaking that Edge's big return, he got eliminated.
But if you look at it,
if Edge's music had hit twice that night.
if you really look at it, though, this is gonna. Again, I'm a huge Edge fan. This is gonna be hard for me to say. It would kind of be unbelievable to believe because he came in kind of in the middle spot at like 21. Now, if he came out at like 27, 28, 29, maybe because he's a little bit fresher, he could come in.
I will say,
boom.
He should have come out at 29. They should have done. He comes out at the same spot he came out in 2010. They definitely should have done that.
Yeah.
So I'll agree with you there. I think that was the call.
I feel like, if anything, this Rumble also sets up Edge for potential feuds at Mania.
Yeah.
Multiple.
But he can't work Styles now because apparently Styles is out.
But Styles is going to be back before Mania. That's already confirmed.
Really? I heard that was up in the air. But I guess
from what I heard, Styles is going to be okay to go by Mania time.
Okay.
So have him come out, have Edge go against the OC. Have him find a tag team partner and have him face Gallows and Anderson until AJ gets back. And then you could have just little feuds.
Dude.
Edge and Christian versus the OC?
No. You can't do that because Christian's probably not going to come back. But put Edge with Kurt Hawkins or Zack Ryder.
Yes, the Edge heads.
Break it down. Whoa. They had a great theme too, man.
The Edge heads reunite.
It would have to be Hawkins because he's the one that still looks like him.
But to me, Edge did exactly what he needed to do.
Yeah.
Came in, he gave everybody spears. He lasted to the final 3, which that was incredible.
Yeah, and him eliminating Orton, because I was literally sitting in my room and I was like, if Orton eliminates him, this is going to be the stupidest thing. Edge is the ultimate opportunist.
By the way, and Matt can confirm this because we were like texting throughout the Rumble match. I said, I bet you Orton is going to eliminate him.
And I was like, no. I was like, no.
He literally wrote me, do not say that.
Yeah. Because my mindset is he's the ultimate opportunist. He has to eliminate Orton. And literally when he said, he was like, I've been around too long for that, kid. That was the best. I was like, hell yeah.
And what's funny is you saw it happen because Orton was like in the pose. Edge turns around and he's like, really? Really? Okay, we're good. Wham!
And when Orton's just like, he's got to stay face. You have to keep Orton face there, and that's the best way to do it. To just be like, you.
By the way, we skipped over it. I loved the reunion of Raid RKO.
The double RKO was
RKO was awesome.
That was so cool.
My God, dude. So yeah, Roman Reigns eliminates Edge. Which, by the way, that was a great stare down between Edge and Roman Reigns. Battle of the Spears.
Yeah, that's what I texted you. I was like, Battle of the Spears. Here we go. I'm so mad that they didn't like play that up more on commentary because they were like, "Oh, Edge with the spear," and I was like, "Well, you should talk about like how they both do the spear." Yeah, because clearly that was the spot because they both ran the ropes. It was like Roman's trying to hit the spear, but Edge got him. The wily veteran hit Roman with the spear, and Roman wasn't able to beat him because it was like Edge's move.
Yeah,
but they just
the only one who, when both Edge and Reigns were on the apron, was I the only one that was thinking that like Mike Tarver was going to come in and hit like a double Claymore?
Yeah, I thought he was going to get rid of both of them. I honestly think he should have. I think it would have been better than having Roman eliminate Edge. I didn't think that made a lot of sense.
Though I do like how, and I don't think I've seen anyone bring this up. Reigns actually outsmarted Edge, kind of. If you really look at it, Edge had his hand on the ropes, and what does Roman do? All right, uppercuts the arm. Edge, you have to let go. So that shows that Reigns is kind of learning more ring psychology. He's like, okay, you can hold on all you want. I'm just going to uppercut your arm.
Edge's elimination spot was so good that it almost looked accidental.
Yeah.
Like, I was almost like, was that on purpose? Was he supposed to go out there?
Yeah.
But, I mean, I assume he was, but I was still just like, was he? Because Edge he didn't miss a beat, man. He had no ring rust, and he sold that so well.
Yeah. And again, it's that small little storytelling that Edge can bring into people, where he's like, okay, because you have to think that he talked to Roman about the spot previously.
Of course.
So he's like, okay, here, use ring psychology, take my arms away from me, I'm going to fall. Boom. That's the spot we're going to do. It makes Edge look strong because, again, it makes both of them look strong because Reigns just that split second of, all right, if I do this, it's going to work.
Yeah, there's no way that that Edge coming back was a recent development. It has to have been something he'd been thinking about for months. Because think about it. He cancels his podcast, which did awesome numbers. I think that's when he started training. I think he started training right. He was like, hey, Christian, I love you, buddy, but I got to go. Because he's like, and Christian they probably had long conversations about it because they are such close friends. They're probably just like, yeah, no, you got to go get your last run. Like, you got to go do it, man. Because Edge, I think they need to not do what they did with Shawn. Don't tease us. Put the belt on him. You know, like, because Shawn wins the belt one time after his comeback and then never again. That was a waste. He should have won it in 2009 in the feud with Cena. And everyone, like, thought he should have won it off Cena at that time. And I just hope.
I want to give it to him in 2008 with his feud against Jericho in that ladder match from No Mercy 2008.
Yeah. And I just hope that doesn't happen to Ed. I hope that
I don't think
they do give him the belt. I think with it.
I think that was Michael's decision, though. I think Michaels didn't want to hold.
Very well might have been. It very well might have been. Because
Michaels doesn't seem like the guy who, especially newer Michaels, where after he's been reborn, he doesn't seem like he wanted to hog the spotlight anymore.
He wasn't a politics guy anymore, for sure.
Yeah, he wanted.
But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This, you're probably not gonna like this. I don't see Edge wanting to hold another belt. I see at most maybe Intercontinental because that's a title that Edge just loves. Like he loves the Intercontinental division. Like
I honestly really disagree. I don't think that Edge would have come back for anything less. I don't think that Edge would have come back without the promise of you're gonna win your belt back. Purely based on, I think the only reason he cares, not because he's a politics guy, but because he never lost it. And if you listened to the Edge and Christian podcast, he talked about a lot. He was like, I'm still world champion. Ha 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 ha. Like he'd bring that up all the time. It's like, I think that just constantly was in his brain that he's like, I never lost this belt. I need this belt back. And I think he just needs to win it one more time for his closure.
I would actually like to see Edge hold the world title and then give it up to someone like an Adam Cole when he debuts.
Exactly. Put someone over huge.
Dude, imagine if Adam Cole comes up and beats Edge for the world title. Like, you're made. You are made right there.
Especially if it was like title versus career and Edge just retires.
Yeah. Because
his last.
That way, and if you want to keep Cole heel, have the Undisputed Era cheat. That would get maximum heat. Because Edge is forced to retire on something that was a screwy finish. It's beautiful.
Yeah. I think that Edge coming back is so good for WWE because people are caring already. Like, in our Facebook group chat, Alec Miller literally said, well, I'm going to be tuned into Raw every week.
Yeah.
It's just like, because Edge is there now and he's an immediate draw. It's like, man, Edge is back. Did you hear Edge is back? I had friends who don't watch wrestling coming up to me and being like, dude, Edge is back. And I was like, yeah, I know, it's crazy.
Dude, and again, if everybody, and I bring this up, me and Matt talk a lot over Facebook Messenger when it comes to big pay-per-views like this. Because I'm always like, hey, this match is really cool. Do you see this? Blah, blah, blah. When I messaged Matt, I was like, he's here. And Matt's first response to me was, I cried.
I did. I mean, it's such a magic moment for me because it's my favorite wrestler, and I just remember bawling my eyes out like inconsolably when he did his retirement speech, and my dad just having to hold me because I was just so heartbroken because the night before I had just ordered our first WrestleMania, and it was WrestleMania 27, and we watched Edge win. And I was like, oh, Edge won. And then we read the match card for the night. And I was like, Edge and Christian are fighting for the tag belts? And then it was over. It was all over. Yeah, Edge and Christian were supposed to wrestle for the tag belts the night that he retired.
Wow.
They were supposed to wrestle for and win the tag belts that night. It was on, I remember reading the match card and being like, oh my gosh, Edge and Christian are wrestling for the tag belts tonight. And me and my dad were so excited, and then we got the news. And it just sucked. And, just to feel that moment where I felt like I was 8 again and hearing Alter Bridge come over that sound system. It would have been funny if he'd come out to Rob Zombie, but hearing that Alter Bridge song hit again was just incredible. It was incredible.
Dude.
It was the biggest moment that I could ever have as a wrestling fan other than CM Punk. I think CM Punk would have the same effect on me, but it was just it made me feel so good.
Dude, I think if you really look at it, this Rumble match has everything you want.
Yeah,
and
it
actually,
does.
Let's talk about the ending a little bit because I feel like we're overshining Drew's big moment.
The ending because I got. So let's talk about the ending.
So it comes down to McIntyre and Reigns. They have a good little mini match between there. Drew out of nowhere, because I think Reigns was going in for the spear. Claymore right out of nowhere throws him out, and Drew McIntyre is your 2020 Royal Rumble winner. And in my opinion, like truly deserved. Because if you really look at it, this is a story, a babyface story. They can go into WrestleMania. He was fired in 2012. He was doing nothing with 3MB. Comes back, or gets fired, goes to the indie scene, kills it everywhere he goes. Comes back to NXT, wins the NXT title, and now he's a Royal Rumble winner, and he's going to win the world title at WrestleMania. What a storyline to go with.
Let me make the video package. WWE, I will do it for free because I will use Broken Dreams. As I will have the video package start with no.
They actually won't do that.
And then they could, and just have like videos of just him getting beaten down and just like that intro to Broken Dreams that's all somber, and then hit Gallantry.
Out of time.
No, don't hit. No, get rid of Broken Dreams. Hit Gallantry, his new theme, and show him winning the NXT belt. Show him winning the Rumble. Show him, winning all these matches building up to the Rumble, and then have him face to face with Lesnar. And then you hit the chorus of Broken Dreams, but with a bagpipe behind it. There you go. That's your video package. That's your Drew hype package. Broken Dreams solo.
I am so happy for Drew, man.
Yeah, the chosen one, man, finally gets it. Finally gets his moment. It's so cool. And I mean, he's so over right now. I mean, he got a crowd behind 3, 2, 1, which is such a basic thing, but it just works. The crowd loves it.
The Claymore kick is so over now.
It's the most protected finish in wrestling. It will always work.
Dude, and the sound it always makes. I love strike finishers that make that or that pop sound. Like, because they just sound more impactful.
Yeah, for sure.
And Drew just goes in for it when he hits. He slaps that leg hard.
He'll leave welts on his own leg.
Wow. And you're just like, oh, that sounded like it hurt.
Yeah.
Dude, well-deserved win from Drew McIntyre, man. I jokingly had him winning. Like, not jokingly, because I really wanted him to win. But I was like, they're not going to have him win. Because, again, I haven't watched Raw since November. They weren't doing shit with him. So I don't know if that changed.
If you watched Raw, yeah, it did look very realistic. I mean, a lot of the betting places had him as the favorite to win the Rumble. And it was because they had been building up the Claymore so hard and they'd been building him up so hard. They'd just been having him beat everybody. And it was like, okay, they're building Drew for something. And then when he won the Rumble, it was like, okay, well, that's what they were building him for.
Yeah.
It felt like Heyman had, because we always hear Heyman's high on this guy. Heyman's high on this guy. But we heard Heyman was like his number one priority was Drew. And he proved it. Because Heyman lobbied for him to win the Rumble. Because Pritchard probably wanted one of his guys to win. And the fact that Heyman must have been sitting in there like, have him get rid of Brock. And because Heyman is that barrier, that bridge to, hey, Brock, I want you to get eliminated by this Drew guy. And then you're going to lose to him at Mania. And then Brock would be like, all right, because it's Paul. He's not going to say no to Paul. And they're so close. And Paul, Paul, kayfabe and real life handles managing Brock Lesnar. He actually manages his contracts, which I didn't know until recently. But he actually does have a hand in managing his contract. And so odds are that he was like, yeah, you're doing the job, brother.
I really hope they get through the title at Mania.
I don't see a universe where they don't.
You need to end Mania with McIntyre as champion.
The only way I see like him not beating Brock Lesnar is if they have him come out on SmackDown and challenge the Fiend. Like, that's the only way.
Please don't.
I agree.
He's going over.
Don't get me wrong. I agree. Do not do that. But
I don't think he is, because they've already set up, in this Rumble match alone, him and Brock. I don't think they'll change that storyline.
No, I don't either. I'm just saying. I was saying that's the only foreseeable future in which Drew doesn't beat Brock.
All right, guys. So we'll end it here with a what will be our final score out of letter grade from A to F. What would you give Royal Rumble 2020?
The card overall, I'll give a B plus. But the Rumble match itself is like an A plus 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 plus. I think it's the best Rumble match ever.
I'm gonna go a little high. I'm gonna go A. I don't think a solid A. I don't think it's A plus level, but I think what really pushed it from a B plus to an A is that Rumble match. You had so much going on. You had so much happening, and I was never bored. I was always anticipating who was next. I was always following the storylines in the ring. That, to me, that makes a great Rumble. Is, can you tell multiple stories and create storylines and matches inside the Rumble match itself? And they did this here. You have Edge's feud with either AJ Styles and the OC, Randy Orton, maybe. Like, you got multiple opponents for Edge at Mania. You've got Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre. I mean, you've got matches built inside this Rumble match itself. The overall card, Bayley versus Lacey Evans was okay at best. Nothing really special. Asuka versus Becky was incredible. I thought that was a really great match. Had a problem with the winner of the women's Rumble match. Overall, I thought the women's match was good. There was really nothing that I was like, this sucks. This is really bad. everything was like, okay, that's good, that's great, that's fantastic. Like, definitely an A.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you there. Also, good development. We do have an actual WrestleMania sign now at Raw tonight. So, not an LED screen.
Nice. All right, we're going to end it here. We're almost at 2 hours. But Edge Mark, where can people find you online?
Find my band on the tip of your tongue wherever, dude. Just type us in. It'll be there. We're putting stuff out soon. We're going to be on the road soon. So, yeah. And then, yeah, that's basically it.
All right. If you guys did enjoy this, hit the like button, subscribe to Come Here Wrestling Network below. Season 2 of CWT with the heavyweight champion himself, my co-host Matthew Rosa right here. Are you excited for season 2 to kick off?
Yeah, I'm ready to beat whoever comes up.
Your opponent's either gonna be Miss Harley Borick or Sinister Alec Miller. So tough task here.
Who's that? No, I'm just kidding. It'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, you guys know me. You know that I study harder than anybody in the game, so you're really gonna have to bring your best to compete with me. I think Harley has a better base of knowledge than I do, but I think that I study harder than she does. So it'll be interesting to see what wins out.
All right, guys. So tune in for season 2, kicking off in February. More than likely, February 12th will be the first match. Don't quote me on that. Not sure yet. We still got to get the first match shot. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys soon.
What would that first match be, Hunter?
Oh, that first match will be myself taking on Mr. Ace, Aaron Sellers.
Ooh.
And the winner of that match between me and Aaron will go on to face the loser of Alec versus Harley, and the winner of that one will be crowned your new number 1 contender after you versus either Harley or Alec. Because again, this season we're focusing really hard on building matches and building storylines that have to do with the ranking system. So makes sense. Me and Aaron are 1 spot apart from each other. I'm ranked 5. He's ranked 4. Then of course Alec is 3. Harley is 2. So then just kind of a mini tournament out there to determine your next contender after Harley or Alec.
Andrew needs to get the heck back in the league.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys soon.